digging for pennies, I'm itching and ready. I open my heart when I listen to Shetty. I'm bold like a boss, but I'm little like Debbie. I know what the bros, I got richer than Getty. I'm holding the guap and I'm whipping the Yeti. Yeah, Kari can play with advanced moves. I'm fucking my girl and her man too. I'm taking the ball like Durant do. My soul is the one that I can't lose. I soak up the sun like a sand dune. I'm holding up love with the bamboo. I'm rolling the blunt by the candle. Taking the game, running it back without taking a drink. Yeah, I'm the one and I'm making a wave. Rolling the blunt and I'm blazing a J. I'm escaping the brain, go straight for the cake. I'ma take to the bank, not taking a break. I'm made for the race, I pray for the day. I wake with a bake in a great estate. Are you living in a box? I'm bigger than a box. I'm spitting to supply my bread. My vision on the top is living like a boss when I kick it in a nice white jet. I'm quicker with the bars, I'm wishing with a one. Yeah, I'm dipping to the bar, I guess. I'm switching like LeBron when I spit it in song. My mission is to try my best. Taking a stab, but I came with a bat. I be chasing to grab my goals. If you hate in the back and you ain't with the facts, don't be faking and act like bro.
Welcome to MMA Underground, your favorite part of Tuesday. Before we start off, shout out to Kara for one fire-ass song. Cheers to you for that.
Yeah, we got one of the best themes or intros in the game right now. Shout out to Kara.
So, you know, I'm only one half of the dynamic duo to kill it, Buddy V, with the one and only
Sam K. And shit, tonight, man, we have two phenomenal guests. All the way from Bare Knuckle Fight Championship, we have the one, the only James Brown. What up, what up? And then, all the way from StreetBeefs Scrapyards, we have top tier ref himself, Coach P. Let's go.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. Now, I'm excited because you guys know we have some fun shows, and this is going to be a fun show. We each have some very interesting questions for each of you. And first, I mean, I'll just start off right off the back. I'll start with James Get Down Brown. I have to ask, man, real quick, how does it feel to have not taken a loss since 2018? A winning streak for years. How's that feel, man?
I mean, it feels good, but it doesn't. I haven't really accomplished anything yet, so being undefeated don't really mean much to me. I mean, you know, on a winning streak, not undefeated, but I still got a lot more to do, man.
Absolutely.
Now, real quick, since you touched on it, can you tell us some of those goals?
Well, my main goal right now is to grab that belt, that featherweight belt from BKFC. After that, you know, defend a couple times, and I'm trying to, you know, step back into MMA, maybe transfer over somewhere, start making some big bucks.
Nice.
Hell yeah. And, man, we had, like, right before the show, we were saying we got BKFC fighter and ref / fighters over here. So how does it feel, Mr. Coach P, to be able to have, you know, that dynamic duo that you could step in the cage either as a fighter or as a ref?
Hey, I'm hurt right now, but I've been getting hurt 2 months ago. Put in perspective, I'm getting older, so if I want to get in the scrapyard, I gotta get in shape here coming up. Got to recover my knee. Probably got about 6 months recovery on my knee, and then all them heavyweights better watch out. I'm coming from Muay Thai and kickboxing and boxing. Except for Wanako. I don't want him until he got the belt or I got the belt. Man, he messed me up pretty good.
That was a good fight. No, absolutely.
For sure.
That's a question from the comments. Yes, that is Kai Stewart's division. Yes, Kai Stewart's the number one. No, not number one. He's the championship of the division. And right here we got number 5 in the top rankings coming out. He's headhunting, which is perfect because let's say, you know, obviously BKFC might have you take another fight before you just go straight for the champion. Who's someone you might like to fight? Because I know you got Rusty Crowder, Howard Davis, Louis Lopez, who just lost. I mean, you got a lot of good contenders ahead of you. Who would you like?
Honestly, it doesn't matter. I feel like I mop the floor with any of those guys. Me and Brandon Allen kind of been going back and forth a little bit on Instagram. He was kind of sounding like he didn't really want to fight. He said he would fight me next year or something or whatever. But my coach is already on board with that fight. His name was mentioned to me. I don't know if he, you know, signed a contract, but I take Crowder, Allen, Davis, Lopez, any of them.
All right. I like it. There's gonna be some good ones. And since obviously you guys have some skills to pay the bills, we've been in the game for a while. I was kind of curious about some of our backgrounds in the fight game too. So I don't know if you wanted to keep going real quick, James Brown.
Well, I started Taekwondo at the age of 10. I continued to do Taekwondo until my fourth professional fight. Didn't really have any jiu-jitsu. I wrestled 2 seasons in high school, but didn't really take it serious. About 2011, I started training Hapkido also.
Nice.
So I got a few black belts in Taekwondo and Hapkido. After I got 5 losses, I linked up with Derek Brunson. Actually, kind of just told me, come to the gym and train. Started training with Derek for maybe like 5-6 years now. Really trying to sharpen that grappling up. We wrestled Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I got a little bit of judo from my Hapkido. And just traditional time from training at MMA gyms. But Taekwondo, Hapkido, wrestling, Jiu-Jitsu, and a little bit of judo is what I'm working with.
I definitely see the Taekwondo and that footwork when the way you fight too. I see not just like the flexibility from MMA, just your steps, the current positions. I'm like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, someone just asked if I'm sorry, go ahead.
Like him too.
Someone just asked a question if you feel like the Taekwondo transfers to MMA.
Some say it doesn't, but I say it does. The whole goal, when you're sparring in Taekwondo, it's not like, they have continuous sparring, but it's point sparring. Right. So off the bell, you got to get the first hit without being hit. In MMA, boxing, bare knuckle, doesn't matter what sport it is. The goal is to hit and not be hit. And I'm a little bit decent at point sparring, so that's what I go out there and do. I just, try to touch them and not let them touch me.
Nice. Coach P, what do you kind of have a background in? I'm curious. I have a little idea.
Yeah, I grew up in Yakima, out there in the middle of nowhere. Watched the first UFC when I was 8 years old, bootleg, Delbert Horton. My friend's dad gave us the bootleg tape. So I've been watching UFC, been a fan of MMA since day one. Started wrestling in 1996 when I was 11 years old. I'm 38 now. So I've been wrestling 27 years, been coaching for 13 of them. I tried to fight 2005 to 2009. The steroid days of MMA. I wasn't on them. I was 265 and fat. Ran through the amateurs 10-0.
Okay.
5-4 as a pro. I lost 3 in a row. I was 5-1. Had a fight with Matt the Attack Kovacs on TV. Lost that one. Lost my chance to. It was like a preemptive. The winner gets to Bellator. He failed out, so I guess it's a good thing I never made it. But through that, I've learned how hard it is. And I try to express to the guys at the scrapyard, that being good at the yard is one thing, but just being in shape is a completely different thing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of guys don't realize that. So I got nothing but respect for this guy right here. He's ranked number 5 in the world, and he's on right here. That's dope. I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you.
Sure, thank you guys.
Hey, that's great. I didn't know you had that much of a background. Dang, I just thought you were like a wrestler and you had some scrap. Damn. Okay. That's why I love this show. I get to learn a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew Coach P had skills, man. I put one of his fights as a Fire 5 fight. It was a boxing match. And, cardio is key. Coach got a little tired towards the end.
Yeah.
But before, you were lighting him up, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing, man, is I literally was smoking blunts coming off the couch. I was about 300 pounds in that fight. I showed up, and I'm a dog, and I go straight after El Wanaco, the best heavyweight boxer, in my opinion, in all the yards. And I'm willing to put that up there, that I think Owanako beats any heavyweight in a straight boxing match. You know, and I showed up and I did pretty well with him. Shout out to D. Ellis. You know, he's a heavyweight old timer. His coach is my coach. You know, and fighters were different, man. You know, and I left the game sort of on bad terms, losing streak. I sort of ghosted my coaches, and D. Ellis said that you know, his coach is my coach, and so I sort of got scared at that. And then he showed up, you know, and when it comes to coaches and fighting, man, it's nothing but love. You know, coach understood that I was mentally messed up, you know, and that I couldn't take it anymore. And, you know, the hug that he gave me let me know that coaching and fighting goes beyond the ring, goes beyond anything. And if you don't got that type of relationship, then you need to find it, you know.
Absolutely. Damn.
Facts.
I'm curious too then, with based off of that for you, James Brown, how do you kind of try to make sure you stay like mentally healthy as you get more publicity, more everything else too? I know that sometimes it can get a little hectic as a professional fighter, because people see us on screens in the ring, they see us there to perform, but they don't see all of the background scenes, you know, some of the tears, the blood, the sweat, the days that we don't want to be there. I mean, how do you kind of deal with that and make sure that you stay on top of the game?
Because I don't really care about the fans. I'm a little antisocial. I want to say I don't care about the fans, but it doesn't, you know, I don't like chase like numbers and stuff on social media. I barely post. My coach keeps telling me I need to get on top of that, you know, get on TikTok and stuff. But honestly, I don't have friends. I keep to myself, and I teach martial arts and I train martial arts. That's about it. You know, people see me and they know who I am, but I don't live in like a big city or anything like that. You know, I do come from a city where, you know, Baby Hulk is here. We've got Derek Brunson, Salters. You know, so we got some big names here. I'm not up at that level yet. But you know, like when I'm with Derek and stuff, people always want to like take pictures with him and stuff. And yeah, I'm not quite on that level yet, so I don't have like people coming up to me asking me to sign autographs and stuff like that. We'll get there one day, but for now, it's just, you know, I just go with the flow. It doesn't really get too hectic or anything. You know, I do have some people come to the gym and they're like, "Oh, what's up, James? I know all about you. I'm a huge fan and stuff." But you know, that doesn't interfere with anything. I still just stick to my goal. Try to stay consistent in the gym and stay dedicated and just be unsatisfied until I achieve my goals.
Like staying humble, and yeah, that way you can go out and do some humbling.
And you know, that's really key, man. A lot of people, they're not consistent, they're not working, they're not conditioning, and they're distracted, you know. And you sound like you're aware of the distractions and you're not distracted, you know. It's a beautiful thing.
And I had a question real quick for Coach P. What kind of got you into that transition of going from a fighter and everything into becoming a coach?
So I found the wrestling room again. It was 2008, 2009, towards the end of my MMA career. And I was feeling real bad about myself, you know, losing a bunch of fights and this and that. And wrestling room is one of those things to where, you know, if you've been a wrestler, you're pretty much always welcome in the wrestling room. And coach let me come back, you know, and he was getting ready to retire. And so, you know, he took me through it, you know, and you do some bad things as a kid. I was 22, 23, you know, and I was still learning my ways too. And you know, ups and downs. I found the wrestling room. Coach let me become a coach. All it took was a heavyweight named Jed, threw a double overhook, the double wizard, belly to belly throw, heavyweight fat boy, stuck the kid. And the second you teach somebody and they do the thing that you taught them, man, it feels like no other, you know. And through that, I used to only focus as myself as an athlete. You know, I was a good athlete, so I'd only focus on other good athletes. And as a coach, man, you start to love the kid on the team, the nerdy kid, the kid that shouldn't win a match, because when he wins that match, that's his gold medal, you know. Yeah, I had kids that lost 32 matches in a row, and then he won 12 in a row his senior year at state and ended up placing at state, you know. So his career record was like 12-64, but those 12 were regionals, subs, and states, you know, and that's a beautiful thing to watch because he got his ass kicked for 4 years straight to just pull through, you know. And kid named Lance, you know, he had everything going against him, had a heart disease, big open scar on his chest, missing an eye, you know, JV superstar, and he lost every match. And then his last time out there, he threw a head and arm, stuck the kid. That's his gold medal forever. I just talked to him, you know, he graduated 10 years ago, and we just talked about it the other day because, you know, that's what it means to me now, man. Like, I got a girl that's wrestling at Colorado Mesa named Kaylee Collins. She took 4th in the nation. That's not my doing. I'm not coaching her now. That's all her. But, you know, just to be associated with that is greatness. And I love the kids from the top to bottom, 100-pound all the way up to heavyweight. Wrestling's a beautiful sport.
I feel like coaches always stick with you too. I remember when I was a little kid, first Dick Murray, my Lakewood Lumberjack first wrestling coach ever. It's sometimes, being a coach, is you have a profound and a unique imprint that you can leave on somebody.
Yeah, I feel like wrestling's different in the sense too. Like, you know, I as a heavyweight, as a kid growing up, I didn't have the best heavyweight coaches, and he recognized that our opponent's coach at Tai was a good heavyweight. So my coach would suggest going there on the weekends, you know, or going to learn from that guy. And the thing with coaching is that once a coach puts some time into you, it don't matter where he's the coach at the school, as long as you're not wrestling his kid, he feels a certain pride whenever he sees you, you know. And anytime anybody puts a little bit of something into you, they're giving you a piece of them, because there's 12 different ways to do the same move, you know. And I like more slick moves. My other coach likes more aggressive moves. You know, I was more athletic, he's more buff, and that's just the way it goes, you know. And you gotta learn. I can look at kids now like livestock. I see a short little buff kid, he's shooting double legs and half Nelsons. See a tall skinny kid, he's doing outside singles and cradles, you know. And as a coach, I think that's like, as a coach, that's where you sort of like black belt is the way I call it now, because I was a good wrestler, but now as a coach, I had to learn things that I wasn't comfortable with, as far as like leg rides, you know, how to do cradles, how to do long wrestling, when I was more of a short athletic guy for heavyweight, you know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I think once you start coaching is when you start really leveling up as far as your education on what you do. Because as an athlete, as a fighter, as a wrestler, as anything, you learn what you do and you get good at what you do. And as a coach, you got to learn how to teach everybody.
Absolutely. And James Brown, I was going to ask, when did you start teaching and coaching some of the martial arts yourself?
I started teaching maybe like 2011, right out of high school. I started assisting my instructor, and then eventually I would just teach the kids class. Kids class turned into kids class and adult class. And then I taught that for years. And when I moved over with Derek, I would just train for a while, and then people kept asking like to join the gym, even though he just opened the gym just so like he could train and his training partners and stuff. So eventually he opened up a school, and from there I started teaching kids class, and then kids class turned into adults class. So eventually I just got my personal trainer certificate and started doing private lessons also. And ever since, you know, I started teaching adults really, because kids, you know, you got to kind of make it fun, keep it simple so they stay interested, show them, you know, something super cool every now and again. But then adults, you know, and especially guys who are going to be going out there and fighting people for real, you know, you got to make sure you get them right, build their fundamentals, you know, show them how to do stuff correctly, and really care about what you're doing, you know, as in have a curriculum, and, you know, show them certain things that match their body type and stuff like that. You got to pretty much, you know, get practice what you preach so you can get these people right. So I've been teaching for maybe like 13 years.
Dang. I did see the one comment ask if you prefer fighting or coaching.
I prefer fighting. I prefer fighting at the moment, but my end goal is to be a coach. So, I like to get my experience in. And I would also like to be able to coach like everybody. So I feel like coaching different individuals will help me be a better coach when I do retire. Like I coach an autistic kid. I'm trying to, if I can teach, anybody how to coach, how to box or kickbox or whatever it is that they want to learn. And I feel like, I'm a decent coach if I can teach anybody, no matter how they learn. So that's really my end goal, is to be a great coach, teacher, trainer, whatever you want to call it, and for people to want to come and learn from.
That's awesome, brother. That's awesome. I want to piggyback off of Buddy V's question. This is for Coach P. Going from fighter to coach and going from coach to ref. Can you talk about how that transition happened?
This is my 1-year anniversary this weekend for refereeing. What it was is I showed up to fight El Wanaco in March a year ago. And I got whooped up on, and then I was too embarrassed to even talk to Steve. I'm pretty shy, honestly, and it's hard to reach out. Buddy V's been talking to me for over a year. He finally got me only because this is my 1-year anniversry. It's the only reason why I said yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
But
we glad to have you, man.
Yeah, it took a while. Then finally, I watched a couple of the fights, and I just wanted to be involved somehow, and I didn't know how I could be involved. So I showed up, and then while I was there, I asked Steve if I could referee, gave him my background. My second or third match was High Speed versus E-Money, which is a complete banger.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's one of my feathers in my cap, because it was one of my very first fights that I've ever reffed. And I feel like I did a pretty good job. In between the first round, I'm in the corner dry heaving, because they both hit the ground once in the first round, and then that first round ended with E-Money on top, and he threw probably about 30 punches, but only 2 of them connected. And so as the ref, I could see that it connected, and as a fighter, I want to give these guys the ability to show their spirit, and so I could tell that he wasn't hurt, so I let it go on. Second round goes in, as I'm over in the corner dry heaving, because I'd never seen anything like that, and I'm involved now too. And then it comes out, and High Speed hits him with a high 10 kick, and then I think it was an uppercut, and homeboy E-Money bends over, and he's still supported by the wall, and I end the fight. And I made the mistake of looking in the comments at the YouTube, and people are like, oh, the ref didn't look like he was confident, and I wasn't confident. And they're like, I feel it looks like he wasn't ready for the fight to be over. But what it was, man, is I'd never seen somebody be asleep and standing up. Yeah. And this guy's looking at me, and he's snoring as he's looking at me. And so I just had never felt that in my life. So what you're seeing on YouTube is me getting my cherry popped as far as seeing somebody get knocked out, and their life is in my hands, Yeah. And I had to protect this guy from himself, because he could have got head kicked again because he was standing up. It's been amazing being a referee, man. It's been great. I feel like my wife called me a bitch for one stoppage, because she said I stopped it short. So I'm trying not to let that happen again. But I luckily I got a wife. She's watched me be in the fight game. She's been around wrestling her whole life. So, if I have her watch a lot of my matches that I reffed, so she holds me accountable, and for the most part, like I said, I like to see the guys bring the dogs out of themselves,
How many of us have all witnessed that when someone got knocked out, and as soon as they get back up, they're just, oh no, we're going right now. It's like, whoa, hold on, whoa, it's done.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Not this last event, this past weekend, but the event before. We had I believe it was an MMA fight, and Wedo was reffing that, and this guy, he gets knocked out. He's on the cage when he gets knocked out, so he comes back while he's still standing, and he's not aware that he was knocked out. So he's trying to argue the fact that, what are you doing? Why are you stopping it? And it's like, bro, we all just witnessed you, you know what I mean? And it's crazy. You know, you got to make the call in the moment when you feel, when you feel it. I've been there myself. Like this past weekend, we had the 3-year anniversary, and I believe this was the most. I had to call the fights off multiple times, man, because guys just couldn't continue, and whether they knew it or not, So I know what you mean. And then going to I don't have a wife yet, but I definitely go to my girlfriend and I'm like, babe, how did I do? I did all right, and I could care less what anyone else has to say, as long as, because my girlfriend actually used to referee. So, for me, I know I can always, get that extra input,
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
That's cool.
Yeah. Hey, you try to let them go as long as they can, because I don't want to be the reason why somebody. Yeah, right there, like exactly like that, King Cal. Yeah, it's more of a feel, man. So once I see somebody start to get hurt, I move over to the fighter that's winning side, and I'm paying pretty close attention to the guy that's getting hurt. Now I'm looking at his face, I'm looking at his hands, the way he's holding himself. It depends on what sport it is, because if it's kickboxing or boxing, I'll let him take a fall first, and then I'll decide when it comes to the count. If it's MMA, I pretty much let it go. I can openly say that, like, one fight I probably would have called it early because the dude got hit with a right hook and hit the ground, and then he came back with a leg lock, but I probably would have called it from that because it's amateur, but that's my thing, and I can openly admit that I probably would have messed that one up. But for the most part, I try to give these guys the benefit of the doubt. We all got to go to work on Monday. Yeah. But the Terrifier, you don't got to worry about them tapping out or nothing. That you just got to worry about them waking up.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, speaking of opponents, though, I had a quick question. James Brown, man, when you fought Steve-O Morris, that man was pretty bloody. But I was curious. Were you thinking like this man's about to get it, or what was going through your head when you hit the ground? Like the first round, I think you got knocked down a little bit, and he came to try to get you right as you're on the ground. I saw you block it real quick, and you're like, and then you smiling, just big old ear to ear. I was just curious, real quick. I have to know.
Actually, I didn't even care. I come from an MMA background, so usually guys are all over you right there. And it was just, I wasn't really rocked, honestly. The first punch made me close my eyes. I flinched a little bit, and then the second punch caught me as I was stepping back, so he caught me square, and I just fell to my butt. I actually put my hand down to brace, but I wasn't rocked or anything.
Yeah, you're right.
It didn't bother me because I'm in a certain type of focus, and I smiled because I just enjoy fighting. My coach, I didn't have instructions when I went out there. He said just go fight them, and so that's what I did. I wasn't really trying to stay technical or anything. I was just there enjoying the fight, win or lose, because that was just an opportunity I had. I didn't really know I was gonna pursue bare knuckle. So I was just having fun out there, man.
Can I ask what's the mental difference between going in a bare knuckle fight and an MMA fight, James?
The mental difference
is when you're right at the curtain right before the cage, is it the same thing as the MMA, or do you feel like it's a little bit more dangerous? Is that running in your head a little bit?
No.
You're ready to go.
When I look at, bare knuckle and the roster that they have in featherweight, I honestly don't feel like any of those dudes touch me. When I'm going out there for MMA, I just started wrestling and doing jiu-jitsu maybe five, almost 6 years ago. So when I'm going out there for MMA, I'm like, all right, I cannot let this guy take me down. If he takes me down, I got to get back up and put these hands on him. And I already know, they're going to take me down. I'm a little fast. I got a twitch, my feints, and I've got a long reach for featherweight. So guys usually don't stand with me at all. And if they do, then, it's a short night for those guys. I got a lot of first round finishes, which my coach doesn't like because he wants me to, get my cage time in. So MMA, I'm a little bit, I don't want to say nerve wracking, but it's a different type of focus. When I'm going out there for bare knuckle, it's just, I don't want to say easier, but I just keep my feet moving and I don't take a lot of damage. The shots hurt, whether it's a big shot or a small shot, they hurt. But I'm not scared to get hurt. I'm not scared to get knocked out. I already know, it's gonna happen one day. So I just go out there, and try not to make any mistakes. So when I'm going out there for bare knuckle, it's just like, another day in the office. I'm just chilling. When it's MMA, I'm a little bit more laser focused.
Okay, man, you guys should have seen his second fight. He went up a weight class, and it was Mike Alvarado. And man, when they stopped this fight, this guy is like bust. I was like, it looked like they would have had to just do glasses of stitches all around his eyes. That was crazy.
I got some razor blades, man.
That's why you got to train that too.
A tough dude. I do a little bit of knuckle conditioning, but nothing too brutal. I don't want to have like arthritis and stuff when I get older.
Yeah.
I did break my hand on Alvarado, and I had to have surgery. My coach said I shouldn't have been out there following through with my shots. I should have just been sticking them. So next time I will, stick them until I find a chin. It's a little difficult because Alvarado and Steve both have that tight guard and wouldn't really open up with strikes a lot. I'm a counter puncher. So when people let go, I can find the chin. And the first round in Alvarado, I couldn't find his chin, so that's why his eyes and forehead and honestly up on top is a little bit, cut. End of the second round, I started finding the chin. So I just, I gotta get with some of these guys who are gonna try to fight me back. Not saying that Alvarado wasn't fighting, but he just kept, pushing forward and shelling up.
He had the boxers right here, and you just.
You're breaking up, buddy.
People, I do want to showcase that my next fight is I can knock people out, and I will knock people out. I just gotta get to that chin.
I wanted to ask you, bro, with your skill set, with your background, why BKFC?
They don't have a good featherweight roster. I'm gonna wipe the floor with all of those guys, man. And I don't mean to sound like arrogant or anything, and I'll show and prove, but those guys aren't gonna touch me. Just, I don't want to say it's almost gonna be too easy, but there's no one that's gonna stop me from getting that gold, man. I have to bring somebody in from somewhere.
But did you go to a tryout or did you get an invitation? Just out of curiosity, because I know someone asked how you got into it.
Oh, okay, so I got offered. They were coming to South Carolina, and I just got an opportunity. I did well, and then I don't want to say fed, but I just got offered another opportunity for Alvarado in his hometown, a mile high. I live at sea level. I've never fought at elevation. So I kind of feel like they were just trying to find people. Maybe, a lot of people turned it down and they were like, I think James Brown will take that fight. So I took it. It was a good opportunity. I was, a little nervous. This guy 40-5, 28 knockouts. I gave his right hand a little bit of respect, but after that fight, after I did well, they were like, let's get this guy on the roster. I signed my contract and just waiting to fight, man.
Is this the Alvarado that used to be a boxer from Denver?
Yep. Former WBO champion.
Let's go, James Brown. This is dope.
A little something, I tried.
Man, so when so you don't throw bombs the whole time, right? So when do you gotta do you pick and choose, or does it just happen?
If you start looking at me like you want out, then I'll start throwing some bombs. If you start wobbling your knees a little bit, I'll start throwing some bombs. pretty much, if you know, I don't want to say if you're looking for a way out, but if you're ready to go, that's when I start throwing those bombs. You can kind of tell when somebody's ready to go. They're pressuring you the whole time, but all of a sudden they start moving backwards. I'm like, okay, it's go time. Or, is those knees buckle is just something, I need to get it under control, but I'll just start throwing them things, man. So, it's just whenever it's time, that's when I let them go.
You ever fought someone with the same reach as you? You have like what, 84 inches?
No.
I'm about
They
to
got it
say
wrong.
featherweight with 84 in. What?
Yeah.
79.
Okay.
That's still
I
good
put
reach.
because I wasn't sure at the moment, and I don't know why they put 84. Man, they got me out here, sounding crazy. If I had an 84-inch reach, I should be, somewhere already because you can't touch me from across the cage. I'm throwing strikes from in the crowd. But it's 79. I still got a decent.
Say what?
I said 79. I still got a decent.
Absolutely. What's your height?
6'2".
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 45ers. I'm super tall, man. I'm super tall for any weight class, honestly, but not super tall, but I'm tall for any weight class. So
Yeah.
45, man, I just take advantage of my height, take advantage of my footwork, and keep those guys on the outside. If you start moving backwards in it, then I pressure. And try to put guys away. I don't, win or lose. I'm here to put on a show. I'm here to do my best, 110%. So,
Absolutely. I think it was what, ex MMA. Was that one of your last MMA fights that you had was over there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's that like? Oh man, 'cause I saw you had do one kick and you had a nice follow through right afterwards. And you were like this close to clipping him in the chin too. Dang.
So that was versus Colin Anglin, a former UFC vet. I was really, searching honestly for anybody who got kicked out of the UFC at featherweight. I was trying to fight them. Like, I'm better than these guys. I need to be in the UFC. So that I was on a hunt. I don't want to mention any names, but I had a few guys not want to fight me. Like sign the contract and then like on Monday, sign the contract on Friday and then Monday like back out. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And he did it twice. Was a little bit of a problem. But yeah, that fight right there, I just had no respect. I understand that he fought like, a few weeks before, but come on, you've been to the big show, man. You can make weight. He missed weight by 3 pounds, and just some business wasn't right for me, and I had a little bit of ill will towards him. And so if you saw the fight, you saw me yell at him a little bit after the fight. All I told him was just, make weight next time. So I just walked him down the whole time and was just being disrespectful in his face, telling him to shoot when his coach told him to shoot. I'm like, go ahead, shoot. Just talking to him and being mean. But I really enjoyed fighting someone who had been to the big show, and I was looking to do that more. To prove that's where I need to be.
Oh yeah, work your way. And question I haven't asked in a while. I was actually going to ask you guys about what kind of music you like to work out to, because I think it was King Cal that just asked if you listen to James Brown when you work out.
He was talking about the walkout song.
Oh, walkout! I thought you said workout. Oh, I don't have my glasses. Sorry. Let me just.
Yes, I always try to walk out to James Brown because
Let's go.
His legacy, and I just gotta kind of play off that gimmick. My name is James Brown, so I walk out to James Brown. One of these times, you're gonna see me with a wig on and a one piece and some high heels, moving the feet like James Brown. So I just do a little bit of a gimmick. I don't want to say gimmick, but yeah, I'm gonna walk out to James Brown every time.
What song we looking at, or is it a collection of songs? What we got?
Any James Brown song that I listen to, and I'm like, okay, I like that one right there. He's got his hits,
yeah,
like The Boss and all of that. But I'll just run a playlist while I work out and be like, oh, that's the one right there, and I just walk out to it.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
I jam out every once in a while to some James Brown in between rounds.
Gotta follow the soul, man. Make it
Yep.
move.
Get on up, man.
Yes, sir.
Coach P,
What
is
up?
there anyone in your branch or any other branch that you would like to lock horns with in the cage?
Oh, no comment. No comment.
No comment.
I'm hurt right now. You know,
Got you.
I've been saying it ever since I've been there. I've been going over a year and a half now, man. That I lay out everything I know and everything. I've been trying to get people to come train with me, mess with me, this and that. And then they go train with other people. And now, you know, I got a guy a fight and people's feelings are getting hurt because I'm not getting other people fights. But that's not my job, man. You know, if you don't want to mess with me, then don't mess with me. But don't be upset when I don't help you out either. You know, if you got a team, stick to your team. Because I'm not gonna switch teams either. I'm Team Tim, number one. You know, and if they want to come see me, they can come hang out with me. I'll teach them the game, what I know. But if not, you know, give it 6 months, and then I'm coming for the kickboxing and Muay Thai at the scrapyard. You know,
Let's go.
The only one I don't want to see is Wanako. Other than that, any heavyweight can get it.
Let's go.
Can't wait to see him now. So, I was curious, Jimmer. You said you watched a little bit of Baby Hulk. You watched a little bit of Street Beefs yourself and anything, or?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Oh,
Particular branch, particular fighters.
Compete there.
Say it again.
I said I actually have a few students that compete there.
Let's go.
That's dope.
Yeah.
What branch? What yard?
I'm not sure. Maybe because I live in North Carolina. So
the OG then.
The Virginia yard. Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly Virginia.
Okay.
They try to hide it from me, because you know if you're gonna do an organized fight, you know, get some on your record. But I honestly feel like any experience is good experience because you guys do a good job over there. You know, with the referees not letting people get hurt or anything. I don't like that you guys have the elbows, but you know, that's not none of my business. But yeah, any experience is good experience. So, you know, it's cool that they go over there and do their thing. You know, they do try to hide it from me, and then I'll see their video like, yo, what's up? Why you ain't tell me? Like, I could have coached you or anything, you know. But yeah, I enjoy the fights. I love the compilations of the best of March or whatever, you know. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Street Beefs.
All right, well,
Appreciate it.
We got a couple branches right here. Me and Coach P come from the scrapyard over here.
Yeah.
I come from the West Coast, so
I think I've seen one of your fights actually maybe like a year ago. I was like, man, this dude kind of, you know, kind of tall like me, man, throwing them things.
Was it boxing or Muay Thai?
It was boxing.
It was boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a fight earlier this year. It was Muay Thai. And then I plan on doing one more fight in scrapyard boxing. So, yeah. I'm going to take a little break.
You got anybody in mind, Tom K? Or?
Anyone in the weight class, man. You know, I don't have any vendettas or anything like that. You know, you guys have a great roster up there. So, yeah.
You're like a 165, right?
Yeah. Anybody 160.
You can take your pick from that weight class right there. Dang, okay. Man, let me see. I got the corner Sam K for his fight, so I was right there when he ended it. Oh man, I saw like a movie scene. You see him just come up. You see the knee right here, like almost touching his own chin, and he just fucking shit. He almost fucking flew out and just bam, straight up flying me. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Still unfortunate, man, because I don't get to claim that win, but you know, we still undefeated. So
yeah. Thank you.
Hey, look at Sean O'Malley, undefeated's a mindset. You know what I mean?
I haven't watched
it. Really is, man. It really is. You know, when I'm preparing for a fight, like I go through a series of like reminders, you know what I mean? And that's one of the things I remind myself is like, victory. That's what you know, you've already done X, Y, and Z, you know,
Yeah,
always getting that mind state of, I've accomplished, I am accomplished, I will accomplish again, you know?
that's dope.
Absolutely.
What what
So I
what's
just
your
got that shirt. So this dude, I got that shirt at my work because on the weekends I go work at this fuel dock. So I just fill up boats. I'm sitting on a dock on the water all day. Perfect gig, right? And this guy was like, "Oh well, he's actually my nephew." Like, okay, bullshit. He's like, "Yeah, I got all these shirts that he made for family and close friends and shit. And he gave me like 4 of them. So here's one for you." Because like I fight at the scrapyard. I'm a fighter. I blah 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 blah. And he just gave it to me. I'm like, "Oh, all right, cool." So we'll see. I don't know. I can dig it though. All right, sorry. So I'm curious. You say that you might go back to the UFC or you might go back to some MMA. You've done some BKFC, but I do have a question for the two of you that involve fighting because we get mixed answers of your opinion on smoking weed while training for a fight or anything else. Because some people they'll smoke before a fight or while they're training they don't care. Some people gung ho when they camp starts they don't smoke. I mean, what do you guys feel about that?
All right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, champ.
All right. I'm not sure. I smoke every day. Other than when I like leave for my fight, I don't like take anything with me or anything. But it doesn't. I don't think it bothers my cardio or anything like that. Some people thinks it does, but I don't know. I just work hard, whatever. You're gonna get tired anyways in your fight. But I don't know. Maybe if I didn't, I could be like in peak position. I'm not sure. I haven't really reached my prime yet. I actually haven't even like trained in a full facility in like ever, unless I like leave town. Like I don't lift weights or anything like that. And September 1st, we relocate our gym to a full facility. So we'll see how much better I get when I got everything on my side, but it doesn't bother my training at all. I can run miles, no problem. Cardio conditioning, no problem. I just left the gym doing kickboxing Muay Thai class and then 15 rounds after that of sparring. So I mean, it don't bother me at all.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Coach Pete?
I smoke weed every day myself. I think it's I think honestly on the other sense, I think if you're high like during your fight or right before a fight or something like that, I think it could be a performance enhancer. And so I look at it that way, that maybe right before the fight that maybe you shouldn't be high, but as far as like practicing or hitting reps or things like that, I feel like I get super blitzed before I go do something like that. I'll get higher than I've ever been because I feel like I can focus more while I'm rolling, or I'm gonna hit that set. I'll focus on that set more, or I'll hit the bag a little bit better. Like I feel like getting too lit is the way to go as far as practice goes. You just got to make sure that your coach is down with it. When I was training, I was lucky. I trained out of a garage. We were a drinking team with a fighting problem, so my coach didn't care too much. But yeah, I think it goes hand in hand with the culture of fighting almost.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Plus, I just don't smoke right before a fight, but I like right before I run. And I'm like, all right, got good weights in, get the bag for a little bit, stretched out, got everything ready to go, got my water to go. Then I'm like, all right, get 2 bowls loaded, just power smoke. And then as soon as I'm done, I'm dying coughing, I just run. All right, let me go get 4 or 5 miles in for fun. It's gonna be zone out, and I just get in the zone. Woo!
Yeah, I feel like it helps the zone for sure. It helps you get in the zone. The big thing I do like when I'm coaching wrestling is Techno Thursdays. So on Thursdays we're doing a lot of cardio. We're doing a lot of play fighting, a lot of 50-50, no hard stuff. And I got techno music going. I got this one song called World Hold On by Bob Sinclair. Whenever that comes on, I make the kids immediately start shadow boxing with their feet, moving. And it's like a 9-minute song. And if any of them stops moving their feet 1, 2, then they owe me 20 push-ups, and then they better get back up, and we're play fighting while we're listening to that 9-minute song. And I got to get in the zone to do that. Don't tell the kids, but
I feel it, man. I feel it. I'm kind of like, for me, I believe it's based on the individual. You got a lot of people who are more productive, and then you do have some people who won't produce anything. I think it just boils down to that person, their chemical makeup, and what are you smoking? What strand? What is it? I think all that plays a role. And yeah, for me personally, I stay with it, before, during, after, yeah, it's definitely key.
Hey, we're on the same page. Now, real quick, Samke, did you have any last questions that you wanted to ask our two wonderful guests that we had today?
Final question, man, for me would be, for both of you, why do you guys fight in the first place?
For me, man, I grew up a fat, effeminate, wimpy kid, and it was 7th grade. Coach St. Lawrence knocked on my door, told my mom that, I got to play sports or something like that. So I've always been, ever since that day, and I found out how athletics work, man, I've always just been trying to test myself. I want to see how far I could get it, and I just like fighting too. I like getting punched in the face. I like punching people in the face. I think, it's, man, I think like the old school manly ways is the way to go, man. Like my grandpa boxed back in the 40s, and he was all about it. We grew up as kids, growing up on the farm. We had boxing gloves, and that's how we settled things back then too, and so I just feel like if more people fought and more people got it out of their system, I feel like as a society we'd be better. I feel like if dudes tested themselves and got to see their true dog inside of them, because a lot of fat wimpy dudes don't realize that they have a dog inside of them until they find it, and we'll help you.
Okay. All right. My bad, my phone's about to die. But I fight because it's what I'm good at, I guess. When I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of martial arts flicks with my stepdad, and I've always wanted to be a fighter. In middle school, my best friend's dad used to go every single Wednesday to get the new UFC pay-per-view that came out on DVD. And I would just watch them every Wednesday, and I just always wanted to be a fighter, man. So, I just fight because I'm decent at it, and I could possibly get, be financially stable from fighting. It's super fun. So, that's what we got to do.
Absolutely. Well, before your phone dies, could we get your social media, where to find you at, and anything else before,
Oh yeah, you can find me on Instagram at GetDownJDBrown, Facebook James J. Brown, and that's all I have right now. I just downloaded TikTok yesterday. I'm start posting some reels and stuff, so I have to let you guys know what that was at a different time. But yeah, Instagram GetDownJDBrown.
Hell yeah! Thank you for your time, man. Appreciate it.
Much appreciated, bro. And Coach P, can you give our audience your info?
Coach P, Scrapyard Ref. I ain't got no socials because my wife ain't trying to have that. Don't hit me up.
Yeah, I love it. Hell, I respect it.
Yay. We appreciate your time, bro.
Oh, appreciate you guys.
You guys were phenomenal. Yeah, you both have a marvelous night, and thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Great show as always, man.
Oh, sorry, Jay, we went over again, second time. But
It'll be all right.
well, you know, you guys, we have the fun 2 little segments to come right back to, but you got to come and one short little break.
Hi guys, Bushido Zed here with StreetBeefs West Coast. Make sure you check out OTH, okay, magazine. They've got YouTube, website, I believe, all kinds of stuff. They have Cuzzo, checking out reactions. It's awesome. We have a lot of bangers. Check out OTH, you guys. Thank you.
Yo, Free Smoke with you guys, man. I just want to give a shout out to Overtime Hustling magazine, man. Go cop the edition, man. Go cop the edition, the latest cover, man. They put me on a few covers ago. Go get yours right now, man. And shout out Cuzzo, man. We see you with the reactions. Love you, dog. Much love. Overtime Hustling. Let's go.
With KT here. Make sure you check out OTH magazine, man. They got all the hits in here. They're gonna tell you everything you need to know about everybody on the underground. All right.
Yeah. Now, right.
Buddy V's Fighters to Watch.
Now, this is an interesting one because I had a couple things going on, so I didn't let Jay know who they were, so there will be no videos with this. But real quick, first, obviously, we got to have James Get Down Brown as the first fighter watcher, BKFC. This man has already made huge waves. He's like 15-4, 15-5 or whatever MMA. He's in the last 2018. He's 2-0 in BKFC, and he wants to go and sweep the entire featherweight division. And we've had Kai Stewart on here before. We love Kai Stewart. He's a fan. He's the current champion. So you know that as our audience, you are just as invested as we are. So you have to watch him. Simple way. Now from the scrapyard, we got Phenotype. This was an interesting one because he had fought Illuminate the State. I talked to him before. He was a gentleman that as I talked to him, I was actually thought he was there to spectate somebody or, you know, just like I came with the fighter. He said, I want to know what it's like. You know, I want to get in this fight. I wanted this. I've done some training, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. And you can see in his fight, he's trying. He's had a little, very minimal training, which is what really piqued my interest. He went out there and he gave it his all, his heart. He overextended. He came back. He got hit and he was still going forward. And I'm like, what can this man do if he actually understood the basics? I'm curious because, like earlier, some people just have it in them. So I wonder if he does too. Second, StreetBeefs West Coast, Super Gremlin. Now, I was watching a few different West Coast fights, and you know there was a tie, but I think Super Gremlin took it because the fight I watched with him was very interesting. I had him and his opponent pretty close, was going back and forth, and you know, as it came out, he ended up edging out the fight and taking the win. When he did that, that's proof that you keep that dog and you keep that pressure and you keep on pushing and pursuing, you can get that win as well too. Because there was a few times when his opponent had skills to utilize, but he took advantage of his own skill set and used it to win the fight. Third, the final one. Now, this guy, Samoan Beast. He is a beast for sure. I thought I picked him once before and I was looking through all my stuff. It was El Mapache because they both fought 7-1-7 static. And this dude came out same as his other fight. He was talking loud, I need you to do this, let's fight. He's coming out so winging. He's throwing down. And let me just tell you, Samoan Beast was going for it. He kept going, and he ended up securing that victory with a nice little arm lock. He twisted to go to a rear naked. It just got it right in the spot of his Adam's apple or something. And the guy tapped out before it even locked in and done. So Samoan Beast, I want to see him back. Those are my 4 fighters to watch.
Nice.
Say, you like this one?
That was pretty fire, I would say, bro. Pretty fire. Yo, back at you. Sam K in the Fire 5. We're going to go ahead and start things off. The OG Yard. Mike versus Grace Smitty. This was a phenomenal MMA bout right here. Well-balanced. and evenly matched. These guys went to war. We got everything you want to see in a firefight: powerful knees, clinch work, slams, takedowns, a true scrap, a true war. And yeah, man, this was just an impressive performance by both men. Very skilled grapplers and very entertaining bout. Street Beefs, OG Yard, Mike versus Gray Smitty, firefight. Check it out. We're going to move on, and I'm going to take you all the way to Street Beefs Scrapyard. If you're trying to look this fight up, you're going to have to enter in the title that you see, Bad Blood Settled Like Men in a Backyard Fight. This is Black Saiyan versus Young J-Ro. These two, I don't know if there was a beef, but it sure seemed like it. It felt like it. It was spicy. It was fireworks in the middle of the ring. And there was bombs every round. Our Victor, he remained hunting and just throwing the combos and staying with the pressure. This was a very entertaining bout, firefight. And as I always say, cardio is key, and so is conditioning. Conditioning is key. Check this fight out. Street Beefs, Scrapyard, Black Saiyan versus Young J-Ro. Now we're going to go all the way back to Street Beefs West Coast. This right here was this was an instant classic right here. We just got finished talking about fire and spice and beef. This is Blanco versus El Ghost. Yeah, this was a very heated fight. We definitely have a potential rematch coming after this fight. Just a lot of aggression from both men, a lot of taunting, a lot of mental tactics being used. And yeah, you can definitely see the fire in the ring. And sometimes that's just what it is when you don't get a glove touch. Street Beefs, West Coast, Blanco versus El Ghost, firefight. All right, we're going to go right back to Street Beefs OG Yard, New Iron versus Big Rig. This right here was a David and Goliath fight. 100-pound difference between these men. I like to call this Mike Tyson versus Butterbean, because that's basically what we got here. Both men having cardio, both men having skills, both men coming to bang it out. This was a very surprising fight with a very surprising outcome. We got good boxing skills from both men showing heart, grit, and going heads up. Street Beefs OG Yard, New Iron versus Big Rig, firefight. The last firefight of the night, and this is a Street Beefs Dirty South fight. Tiburon versus Op Slayer Jew. This right here is a firefight. These men got to work, they got busy, and you can see by the timestamp, they didn't waste any time. Right off the gate, we're seeing creative striking, and yeah, it didn't disappoint. These guys are throwing fire at each other, but at the end of the day, this fight showcased that grappling is key. Defense is key. We get a quick finish. Street Beefs, Dirty South, Tiburon versus Op Slayer Jew. Samke in the firefight.
Hell yeah, I like that firefight. Woo!
Thank you, bro. Thank you, man.
Best part of being part of different branches, sometimes we can get the inside. And I can verify that Young J-Ro Black Saiyan was a beef fight.
There we go. It was a beef fight, man. It definitely felt like it, man. Like I said, both of them were they were throwing with some passion, you know. And like I said, the Victor, he kind of paced himself at some point, and you know, continued the combinations, continued the pressure, and we got us a classic bout right there, I think.
It was,
And I wouldn't be surprised if we got a rematch with that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
What do you say, man? It's about time we wrap up this fun little Tuesday MMA Underground.
I think so, bro. It's about that time, brother.
All right.
Let me go ahead and give a shout out to our guest, first and foremost, James Brown. We appreciate you and your time. You guys go check out his fights. He's all over YouTube, all over the internet, as well as Coach P. Thank you for your time. You guys go check out his fights and as well as check out his reffing. He's also the Scrapyard ref, one of many greats. We appreciate your time, brother. I want to thank the people in the live chat. I want to thank the people watching us on replay. I want to thank the people in the comment section. We appreciate you guys. StreetBeefs OG Yard, StreetBeefs Scrapyard, StreetBeefs West Coast, StreetBeefs Dirty South. We do this for y'all. We appreciate y'all. Overtime Hustling Magazine, shout out to you guys. Heart in the fight, much appreciated. Shout out to you guys. Daniel, thank you for coming out. Again, the West Coast had its 3-year anniversary last Saturday. And Daniel and as well as Stoneman, as well as Lil Diesel from Heart in the Fight crew, they all came out, man, and helped celebrate what was a great 3-year anniversary. If anyone's interested, go check out StreetBeefs West Coast channel on YouTube, and you'll see we had an awesome ceremony for the Hall of Famers, and we have some bangers coming out. But not to get off topic, for those of y'all who know me, I don't do the social media. If you're trying to catch me, I'm here every Tuesday, same channel, same time. And thank you guys.
Hell yeah. And real quick to that comment, I'll probably be fighting 2 more months because I do have a weekend job and it's a little hard to get it off because I need that weekend money, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, probably 2 more months. So I'll make it worthwhile though. I think I'm going back to MMA, so I'll make sure that these 2 months my whole body, head to toe, is getting retrained. Because I want my full arsenal back. I'm trying to get 2 MMA in the same day. So I need to be tip top. But right? Get back to my game. So, thank you guys very much for watching. It was a fun time. You know where to go to check out as well, hyperworld.com for your MMA Underground, Yankee and the Brit merchandise, everything else. And as promised, because you tuned in the show, you know that tonight, as of midnight Pacific time, there will be a package on the website where you could get both T-shirts for the price of one. So you might as well get it, right? Might as well.
Go get that deal.
Ooh. I'm trying to help y'all, you know? Anyway, Instagram as well, _BuddyV. Go check it out. Some fun stories I post here and there if you want to just check out the daily life or see other stuff I have coming up. There is a new batch of Zuel earrings that have almost sold out completely. Not gonna lie, it's crazy. I've sent a couple pictures around, and they just bought them all up. So I was like, hey, all right, I'll make a new batch. So this next one will be for the internet exclusive. We'll see. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. I had a blast because Tuesday is my favorite time. Jay, you killed it as always. Samke, I cannot even do this without you. Yeah, our guests killed it tonight. So thank you all, everybody. And in the words of Jay, one world, one love, deuces.